So someone sent me a story, which I'll show you now. And based on this story, it sounds like this dietitian made a comment on her very large social media account saying that people on SNAP or food stamps shouldn't be able to buy soda. Her rationale being that it harms low-income communities the most, perpetuating a cycle of poor health and economic strain. And if you care about having the best possible outcomes for low-income communities and not helping the soda industry get richer, you would agree. FYI, I would love to know if she's basing this on personal experience. And because I read sometimes, actually no, that's a lie. I listen to things on Audible, but it's still consuming information. A while back, I listened to a book called Feminism by Mikki Kendall, and it happened to discuss why people in poverty or in low-income communities buy soda. And to make sure I didn't butcher this, I went and listened to it again. Keep this in your brain. Sometimes the food you can access comes from gas stations, liquor stores, and fast food restaurants, and not a fully stocked grocery store, much less a kitchen. The other note that was made in the book is this double-edged sword about making big companies richer and then choosing what's best for you based on budget and access. It's true that Walmart may be a crappy company that you don't want to give their money to and they don't pay their employees enough, etc. But for some people, that may be the only store in their area with produce that's affordable, so of course they're going to shop there. So this idea of boycotting big corporations is really nice in theory, but in practice, for some low-income populations, it's just not feasible because you may be taking away their only good shopping option. Now back to soda. Now it is true that soda is sugar in a bottle, but again, ask yourself, why do people buy the foods they do? And the purchase of soda is extremely prevalent in homes where food insecurity is a problem. Why? Because it's shelf stable. It's cheaper than juice. It tastes good. People often feel like it's a better investment than just purchasing bottled water because it has calories. It doesn't go bad. Unlike some juices, it doesn't need to be refrigerated after it's opened. And like some Capri Suns and juices in the past, there's been no issues with mold and fungicides. And if you happen to live in Flint or other select cities around the United States, your tap water may not be drinkable and you may not be able to afford a fancy filtration device. So I ask you to think critically, is banning the purchase of soda from people using SNAP going to improve their income? Going to dramatically improve their health? Probably not. If you actually cared about health, these are meaningful changes that these population needs that were discussed in the book. Exercise at school, at home, which requires a safe neighborhood, green spaces, access to affordable fresh produce, clean water, access to health care. Banning sodas may make a difference in a few calories, but it is not going to dramatically change somebody's life in the way that it needs to be changed, like these things. So if you care about health, talk about legitimate issues, because this is not it. Also, go read this book. Okay, bye.